Hello friends, I'm Lena Green with MachineKnitToday.com, and I have a short video lesson for you explaining how to thread Japanese-made knitting machine. As example, we have today this wonderful Brother 260 bulky unit already installed on this metal stand with the use of flat C-clamps, on one on this side, another one on the opposite side. And we're going to be threading this machine with this all-purpose acrylic red yarn. I chose this color only for you to see easier. Of course, you can use any color or texture of the yarn you want for your unit. The machine has a lid in the back right here, hiding behind it, which holds the tension unit for this machine. And for you to start threading your machine, you need to carefully remove this unit from that lid. Just carefully pry this tension mast from underneath of different hooks and ways of holding it down. Take this mast in your left hand like I do right here. Grab the take-up springs. They're two flexible wires up front with the loops on the end. Move your fingers of your right hand as close to the base plate. This is the base plate right here, as close as possible, and start pulling up at the same time. If your plate on that mast is not moving freely, do not pull too hard. You can break those take-up springs on the base. Use some oil, knitting machine oil, to loosen up this plate, and then try it again. Now, you're moving the springs all the way up as far as you can, like this. And now take-up springs are almost looking vertically. The next part on this tension mast is this front yarn guide. It's right here, and it has a little arrow pointing what direction you have to move this arm. And again, you're pretty much just unfolding it, opening it up like this, and after you're done with the front tension yarn guide, your take-up springs won't look straight upright anymore. So you do the first procedure all over again. Just grab on the base plate right here. I'm just turning the mast to your way. This is the plate right here, just grabbing it. And to move this base plate all the way up, you will hear the click at the end, like this. This way your take-up spring is set up properly, and front yarn guide is aligned perfectly as well. Now, only one part we still haven't worked on is this rear yarn guide. And that's again, it's folded down. You need slowly unfold this yarn guide all the way, and it will be almost in the horizontal to the floor, right? Your tension mast is ready to be threaded right now. One more thing before you start installing the mast on the machine. Make sure that bottom section on the mast is curved. It should not be completely straight. It has to have a little kink in it. Make sure that bottom of the mast is pointing toward the wall in this instance. Okay, now you insert the bottom of the mast into this receptacle and start pushing it down until you hear the click. After that had happened, your tension mast is installed and it's ready to be threaded. Let's do that. So the yarn which you will be using needed to be prepared for the knitting machine. If you purchased your yarn on the skein or the wool or any other way, you need to use the yarn winder and form a comb out of that yarn. Only this way yarn gets off the machine and you won't have any trouble while you're knitting. Otherwise the tension is going to be changing all the time, and it's not good for the machine knitting at all. Now I have the hand of this yarn in my left hand. You can use one hand or another, depends on the situation in this instance. And we start with the rear yarn guide, which is right here. Just thread the yarn through one of the loops in this rear yarn guide, and just thread the side of the yarn guide which is closer to you in this instance. Of yarn, I'm using only one color right here, so I can choose what side of the mast I'm threading the yarn through in this instance. The second step, you need to push the yarn through this metal springs and the dials on the end of it. Dial is needed here to change the tension on the yarn. So if you go toward minus, like this, the tension on the yarn will be decreased. If you go opposite way toward the plus, the tension on the mast will be increased. So I have it in the middle right now, and that can be changed, depends on what kind of yarn you're using. Thickness, type of the yarn, if it's loopy, smooth, there's many factors. Now, I normally just grab this section of the yarn like this with 2 hands and just pull that yarn down until I hear a click, like this. Okay, and then I move the yarn forth and back, and I can feel if yarn is moving freely, that's the proper way for that yarn to be caught by the spring right here. Next step, front yarn guide has its own loop right here up front. So you just need to thread that end of the yarn through the loop, like this, and pull on the yarn a little bit. You're going to have a bigger tail in the hand. The next step is the take-up spring. We already know what it is. It has a loop on the very end of it, right here. So you can thread the end of the yarn through the loop, or lots of machine kneaders, including me, we do it a little bit differently. We just grab this end of the yarn with both hands, like I've done with the tension springs before, and just pull through the side of the loop down. This loop has kind of opening on the side, so just pull on it. And then go with this yarn forth and back. Yarn should not be caught by the wire inside of this loop, right? So now you can feel that yarn is under the tension. That's the purpose of this take-up spring. It provides the even tension on the yarn while you knit. So very last step, while you're holding your end of the yarn with your hand, insert this tail under the yarn clip on the mast and pull it down. Make sure this tail of the yarn is secured well in the clip, otherwise if you don't pull down well, this yarn going to be taken off by the spring and everything goes flying, and you need to start threading the machine all over again. Now, if you have another color, like in Fair Isle knitting, you need to thread this side of the tension mast with another take-up spring, like this one. If you don't have another yarn, just grab on the loop of the second take-up spring, which is empty pretty much, and hook it up on the loop of the front arm guide. So you will just get rid of this flying wire, which is really, you don't need for anything anyways if you knit with just one color. Okay, this is pretty much conducts our little lesson. If you have any questions or have comments about this videos, please go to our website, machineknittoday.com. We have a contact us form on it, or you can leave your comments. And I really appreciate you being with us on this video today. I'll see you next time. Bye.